to finally, you ever had a mirror and it's foggy because you were probably running hot water? And when you look, you can't see your reflection. But when you do the first wipe, that's when you forgive. The first wipe, and you can see your face, and it's not so clear because remember, it's saturated, so it's still a little wet. And you wipe again, and you see yourself a little bit more. So, oh my gosh, I haven't seen myself this light in a long time. And then you want more, so you get something to help you, a napkin or something to wipe it and get rid of all the saturation, because when you forgive, you still have a little bit of open wound here and there. You asked, we delivered. OMG. Okay, so Soul Shift Academy is now live on School app, SKOOL. I want you to click on the link to join this beautiful sacred community. Matter of fact, it's a movement. Now, I have created this beautiful space for you for so many reasons. It's for coaching, it's for mentorship, it's for online courses, it's for spiritual courses, it's for question and answer classes. It's just a beautiful ecosystem that allows us to have these beautiful conversations, do a lot of decluttering spiritually and physically, and aligning yourself to tap into your creative, divine, God-given gifts that most of us forgot about for a long time. So tap the link below. Soul Shift Academy is now live. Into this beautiful resource. See you over there. Bye. Hey everyone, how y'all doing? Hey y'all, what's up? What's doing? Hopefully very, very good, because for some reason it is December. Where did 2025 go? I would like somebody to tell me how come it is December already. And you know what? I know I had this to do. I know I had a sacred currency message for December, but I didn't know what I was going to talk about. So today in New York is cloudy with a chance of snow. Listen to me. New York is gray. All right. So we went to Jersey today. We had a beautiful expo to go to for architects and designers, and it was off the hook, right? Big up to DXAS Expo in New Jersey. And on our way back, I remember just saying, um, oh gosh, I just remember saying, all I would take right now is just a fireplace with a nice cup of coffee. That's how I felt when we finally got in the car. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so gray, right? And this idea came to me. I haven't heard about this in a long time. The hearth of the village. Hearth, Hearth, means fireplace. That space where you light the fire in the olden times. That space where, you would put the wood to light the fire. I thought to myself, this is the currency message for December, and I'm excited about it. So, December currency, sacred currency message is the Hearth of Renewal. Why? Why not? So, the sacred fire inside you that responds to your actions, your intentions, and your willingness to forgive. Here's why. I have had I'm almost getting emotional thinking about this. I've had so many moments in 2025 that tested my faith, that tested my patience, that had me almost giving up on myself. And I remembered this sacred breath. And I also had moments, and many of us now feel this, where it's like, where's all these things coming from? Why is it feels as if the world is going against me? Why are all these arguments coming up now? Why are we going through these things? Why is it that all these things that I've put to bed and thought I buried years ago, why is it that all of a sudden it's like somebody went out there in a burying ground and dug it all up, because that's all I have to face now? And we are very combative because I don't want to deal with that now. Get away with it. So, December is the month that represents the hearth of renewal. We need to make a bonfire, a really big one, by a fireplace with music and beads and laughter, and say all the things that I don't need. I'm tossing it into this fire and I'm gonna burn it up, because 2026 will not come and have me carrying the same burdens over to that new year. I'm sorry, guys. I am just coming back, and the weather is gray. But although it's gray, the representation of the weather for me today is yeah. But you know what? There's another day. So, what will you do with this situation? Will I forgive today? And I was like, absolutely yes, especially if I have sun tomorrow. So, today I'm sharing a story, a parable about a village, a fire, and a winter that changed everything. Are you ready? Because I love to do everything in stories. I want you to relate to it. See, this December is not just about closing the year, it's about understanding all the consequences of the energy we held and we're still holding. And we want to own, and we do not want to let go of the pain and the trauma and the heartache and the power we reclaim when we finally let it go. So here's how the story begins. I'm doing it from memory. Okay, so imagine an ancient village deep in winter. I'm going to make it up as I go, guys, because I don't remember everything. In the heart of that village stands a great communal hearth, a big space, open ground where you can see the ashes and all the marks of where the fire always burned. Every year, everyone in the village, they choose to gather in this beautiful space, right? A fire that belongs to everyone in this huge village. Every morning, the villagers gather to take a small flame from that central hearth, and they get to bring it home because everyone at home also has a cute fireplace, even if it's hot, right? So the flame is how they cook. That's what it helps them to do. So it helps them to cook, it helps them to keep warm, it helps them to feel safe because during winter months when it's really cold, when you have warmth, no matter where it comes from, it also gives you the security of feeling safe. And this is how they create light in the long winter nights. So remember, we have a huge bonfire. This is the hearth of the village. And everybody takes their wood there. They light it from that one central spot. And they choose to take it home. And what they do with that fire is up to them. But I already named everything that they can do. It gives them comfort, gives them safety, gives them peace. It allows them to just go through the winter period without feeling as if they're missing anything. So that fire is a symbol of your energy and your energy and your soul flame. I know I have been tested a lot, especially the ending of November to the beginning, and it's only what, day 2? It's only December 2. And I had to stop myself and I had to take a deep breath, and I said, you know what, God? Years ago, I would sit and I would cry when things are like, it feels as if it's combative, like, oh my gosh, where's this coming from? I don't understand why. I'm trying to be compassionate. But now I know that everything that happens is information. So how do I deal with it? So I remember I had a moment and I just imagined myself as I love surrendering to the biggest ocean I can think of. And I just visualize all the things that has been hitting me left and right as big waves. And I said, God, I surrender and I don't regret anything. I regret nothing this year, 2025. Everything that came, that I experienced, I accept it because there's some part of me that called it in. And there was some information that I needed from it. The atrocious ones, the ones that allowed me to feel a little bit offish. Why did that happen? So when I surrender, God, it means that I don't blame anyone. I'm at peace. In order to be at peace, there's something you have to do. So you see this village, it had a division, just like the world is right now. So one winter, something changed. Not because of a war, not because of a famine, not because of anything outside. The change came in this village from within. Some villagers began carrying old hearths like heavy logs. They placed those logs on their home fire. How much will you think that burn? How much warmth will they get if they're still carrying hurt and pain and trauma when all they need to do is go to the central fire? where unity is. So instead, they were burning logs in their homes, logs made of unforgiveness, logs of old trauma, logs of unhealed wounds, of anger. Oh my gosh, anger is so heavy. Anger is so heavy that I'll probably cry for you and laugh at the same time if you're angry at me, because I don't know what to do with that energy anymore, because I just can't soak it up anymore. So I am, if you see me crying, if you're angry, it's not because I'm weak, honey. I'm crying because I want you to like feel the love and compassion, and you're not feeling it, right? You have logs made of anger and resentment and disappointment and the harshest self-talk you can think of. I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, and you're burning this fire in your homes, in your heart. But these logs, the more you burn them, the more they're there. They smothered the flame. Your homes will grow colder. It will grow longer. Your nights will feel as if they won't end. Your hearts, they'll just feel like you're filling it with rocks, because you are. You can hardly breathe the air because you're holding on to so much that the only reason why it's festering now is because God is saying, don't you think it's time to let it go? So in this village, they blame the fire. That fire. That's why I'm not warm this winter. That's why my heart's not at peace. That's why I'm so angry at everyone. And they blame the people around them. They didn't realize that the fire was only responding to the energy they were adding to it. You see the other half of the village, the one that understood what it meant to be light. That very same village, it was split in half, under the very same sky that God made. Another group of villagers lived differently. They too had pain. They had stories. They too carried memories that hurt to touch. It's so heavy just to think to go back. But instead of placing those heavy logs on their hearth, they whispered forgiveness into the flame. I remember last night I was talking to this beautiful human being. She didn't feel anymore. Can you imagine not being able to feel? It's not because there's anything wrong with you. It's you've disconnected yourself from feeling because you put your heart on lockdown. I can't afford to. I can't trust you because I'll be hurt. So I'm going to lock it down. And spiritually, you do. The other half of the village, they released it. Last night I said to her, just say, I am love. Allow me to feel love. And I said, breathe into that. Just close your eyes and breathe into it. I am worthiness. Allow me to feel worthiness so we can retrain the bodies, mind, body, soul integration, to retrain your nervous system to feel again. So on that side of the village, that's what they did. I forgive myself for holding this pain. I choose warmth instead of weight. I choose freedom instead of fear. And with every act of forgiveness in that side of the village, their flames grew stronger and stronger and brighter and brighter. Do you think it's because they were perfect? It's because they tended their fire with consciousness. I am consciously responsible for what I choose to do, what I choose to react to, and how I choose to live. See their homes? It became warm gathering places where it feels as if they were drawing in people. They were drawing in love, not because it was outside of them, but because they realized, I surrender. Because everything that's happening, it's happening for a purpose. So people felt safe near their flames. Their light healed without needing to speak a word, because it was now completely aligned with what their intention was. And then, one night, the coldest storm of generations hit. It hit that village without warning. winds howling like spirits, and the temperatures dropped without mercy. Every fire was pushed to its edge. In the homes where unforgiveness was piled as fuel, the flames struggled and nearly went out. Fear spread, panic rose, until one elder, this beautiful woman, whose fire had never dimmed, stepped outside holding our torch high above the storm. Imagine that old woman to be you, or maybe your grandmother. She said, "A fire shared is a fire multiplied." I like that. A fire shared is a fire multiplied. If one home grows cold, the whole village will suffer. So, what are we doing with the fire that we burn for this month of December? You see, in the midst of that realization is allowing yourself to allow your conscious awareness to come online to understand that no matter what happens, you have a choice. And then a miracle happened. One by one, those with bright flames lifted their torches and walked through the storm toward the coldest homes. Because if I have warmth, allow me to share with you. And not just that, let go of the judgment and the shame and the blame, and allow yourself to accept that which I bring. To share our fire. Do you know what the fire is? Forgiveness. The fire is grace. The fire is faith. It's love. And these villagers placed fresh embers into each dim hearth. So everyone who was feeding anger and pain and trauma, they gave them fresh ember. It's like in Jamaica we'd say coals. They gave them fresh stick that did not have pain and trauma and disappointment and anger. They gave it to them fresh to say, look at this. Look at what can happen. Let forgiveness breathe through you. Let your flame rise again. And for all of us in this world who still holds on to anger because of some reason, I don't know why, I know there's at least one person in your life who you can't stand right now because they're not taking your anger and your pain or your trauma. They're trying to allow you to see their light. I want you to visualize this one person. Could be a stranger, could be a family member. I would like you to just look at them to understand they are the other half of this village. And the only reason why they're so compassionate and they're not shouting back and they're not feeding what you are bringing, it's not because they don't love you. It's because they can see from where they are that your hearth, your fireplace, your ember does not have the strength to keep going because you're feeding it as an emotional hoarder. You're holding on to the energies that aren't yours and you're going into 2026 with them. So in each cold home, something melted. Not ice, but the emotional inner winter they had been carrying. And like me, the way I feel now, some of them cried like daylights because they finally could understand, oh my gosh, that's why I've been struggling so much. I held on to the pain and it really wasn't mine and I don't need to own it. I don't need to take it into 2026. Some of them sighed. Oh my gosh, I thought it was going to be over for me in that storm. I can't believe that it was anger and pain and trauma that kept my fire down. And they realized that they could finally let it go and the world still happens. Some forgave themselves for the very first time. And across the entire village, fires rose again. A glow, almost like a godly glow, spread over the snow. And you know that cold that people will say, oh my gosh, I'm fearful of all the weather and trauma. The cold weather retreated. Because what they understood then is the reason why the cold weather came in was because powerfully, because they were feeding so much into all these energies that did not matter anymore. It was so powerful, it called in more bad weather. It called in more disappointments because that's all they were feeding. And the ones on the other side of the village, well, they had to face it too, although they weren't feeding it. Because energy is so powerful. So imagine two in a household, one's angry and one's happy. It still collapses the whole household. It still allows the children to feel nothing but pain and unwantedness. So after that night, you can only imagine everything changed in that village. Because everybody realized, oh my gosh, it's a miracle. And they can thank anything they want to thank. God, neighbor, friend, husband. But the reason why that happened is because they finally surrendered. And not just that, they forgave every moment that they thought could take away their power from them to make them carry those burdens for so long. You see the forgiveness that you're holding right now, carrying it to December 2025. You believe if you forgive it, it means that it was supposed to happen. No. Because when you hold on and choose not to forgive, you also carry that burden of ancestors and people and choices outside of you that has nothing to do with you. The forgiveness is thank you with all my heart for choosing to. Hi, y'all. Thank you. I just want to stop for a moment and just thank you. Thank you for choosing to take such sacred time out of your days to just stop by, whether you're curious or really interested, to feel the information that's coming from this channel. I want to thank you so much for giving us the time of day to be a part of the rising of this beautiful movement of light in this world. And because of that, within the next sacred breath, I want to exchange with you the light of awakening consciousness. And I just can't stop saying thank you so much for choosing just to stop by, because time is so precious to everyone. And with that, I want to tell you, it is an absolute beautiful time to be alive on this planet. If you don't feel so, keep watching the videos, because you will see and feel that it really is, because we are changing lives. You are changing lives. We all collectively are part of this quiet revolution. So for all of you who are here and you're taking in these videos, these messages, just like and subscribe. Allow us to grow in a way that would allow other people who simply are wondering, asking themselves the same question you were, to find us, and click that notification bell so you know when something new is going to drop, and share this message with anyone else you think maybe needs a gentle nudge, in a sense of love and compassion, to kind of redirect them to their own beautiful light and love. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. So long. You see the forgiveness that you're holding right now, carrying it to December 2025. You believe if you forgive it, it means that it was supposed to happen. No. Because when you hold on and choose not to forgive, you also carry that burden of ancestors and people and choices outside of you that has nothing to do with you. The forgiveness is where you start to finally, you ever had a mirror and it's foggy because you were probably running hot water? And when you look, you can't see your reflection. But when you do the first wipe, that's when you forgive. The first wipe, and you can see your face, and it's not so clear because remember, it's saturated, so it's still a little wet. And you wipe again, and you see yourself a little bit more. So, oh my gosh, I haven't seen myself this light in a long time. And then you want more, so you get something to help you, a napkin or something to wipe it and get rid of all the saturation. Because when you forgive, you still have a little bit of open wound here and there. So it leaves you saturated. So you be gentle with yourself this December. And you take your time, and every day you forgive yourself. And you write a contract to yourself as of this day, December 2, 2025. I choose never to abandon myself again. I choose never to say yes when I know my heart says no again. I choose no longer to carry these wounds and these scars so much that when something happens or I hear or witness something, my body intensifies and it retracts itself so much that I can't breathe, that they call me anxious, that they call me depressed, that they tell me that I'm so angry that I can't handle life. It's time for us to stop waiting to see whose fire is dimming. It's happening too much in this world, and we can't wait for the other one's shoe to drop, to just be in their face and say, yeah, I knew your shoe was gonna drop. It's time for us to light each other's fire with kindness. These villagers, they all tended the central hearth together again. They restored practices of warmth. They shared embers like blessings. Forgiveness became their daily breath. This village is us right now. Not because trauma never happened, but because we can choose to stop feeding the fire with it. We can learn that a village divided by inner wounds cannot survive a winter. A village reunited through forgiveness cannot be shaken by anything. You see the difference? A village divided by any inner wound, you cannot survive a winter. Your village right now is your household. How many of you are there? It's your workplace. It's your school. It's your church. It's your mind just within you and the inner critic that's here. This village, if it's divided by any inner wound, pain, trauma, what they said, what triggered me, what happened to my ancestors, my parents, it cannot survive another winter. But a village reunited through forgiveness, nothing can shake it. Nothing can break it. It's funny that this is so personal for me now, because I know it's so personal for most of you. For me to be driving on a New York street on a very foggy day when I can barely see where we were going, it's so gray. And I had to think to myself, it's just one day, but there's so many of you who all you see are gray days. It's not because life is hard on you. It's because you were kind of hard on life. Your inner fire responds to what you feed it. So when you feed it with fear and old wounds and bitterness and self-blame and I don't like and they don't deserve it, your flame dims. Jamaica people would say old fire tick. What? Old fire stick easy for catch. I think they meant it in another context, but I like it. When you feed it with forgiveness and love and grace, nothing can stop that fire within you to burn. So I don't know what's happening in your village, but I know many of our villages right now are split in two. All I can have is compassion. I don't know how to meet people with anger and hate anymore because I work so hard to let go of mine. I know what it feels like to go back there, so I just can't. Most of you can't either. Do not feel depleted. Just allow your flame or your ember to help someone else to light theirs. Don't judge them. Don't judge another person who's going through a sad time. Do not try to shame people, body shame people. I call it face shame, to say, oh, you're not this in comparison. Don't keep feeding people with the trauma that you knew they went through. You have a partner and they had trauma. Embrace them this time of the year, will you? Do not use it back at them with mean words, because what you're doing, you're rippling right back at yourself. And when the storm comes, you will be a part of what it will carry. Holding on to trauma is like placing wet logs in a fire. It smothers your warmth, and listen to me, it will stifle the daylights out of you because all it's going to do is smoke. So just like these beautiful villagers, who is a representation of you, healing becomes the blessings that warms others. So forgive. I don't know what you need to forgive. Everyone in my community know this. I love to tell you to write. I want you to take a moment this beautiful December as I give you this message to say, yes, 2025 was the best year for many people, but for another, really another many millions, it's been the most challenging year. We kind of choose the paths we go on. If you have had a very challenging year, I want you to change a contract that you probably unconsciously signed for yourself. And I want you to write everything that you feel now. Take a deep breath. Body, show me my truth. I'm just sad. I feel lonely. I don't think I can make it. I just think the world is not fair. I don't think I'm going to find love this year. Whatever it is, write it down. And if it's a partner you want, write everything you want in a partner. If it's money you want, what's your relationship with this money? How will you treat this money? Will you hold on to it and suffocate it? I can't afford for you to go anywhere. Will you bless it when it comes in to say, God, I thank you. Thank you for blessing me. Allow me to be on the very same wavelength. Expand my bandwidth to perceive and see abundance. Not just in one thing that society made, but to see myself as abundance. And when you do that, put your name on top of it. And everything you want outside of yourself, I want you to be that first. I want a partner to be XYZ. The first time I got this lesson from my guides, I wrote a long list. And I heard it somewhere the other day. I laughed like crazy. I heard it somewhere. I don't know where. I heard it somewhere on social media, somebody talking about it. I was like, yes, I did that before. I was like writing this list and I realized my guides were tricking me. And then they said, okay, now write your name on top. And they didn't say be it. They say, Nikita, now you embody that which you seek. Now you embody that which is true. Now you embody that which is pure. Because that which you are, that which you receive. I thought to myself, this is crazy. But you know what? It worked. Forgiveness is not weakness. It's oxygen. I just heard oxygen and I like it. Forgiveness is not saying that something happened was fine. Forgiveness is heat. It's holy. It's how your fire rises again despite anything that darkness had planned for you, anything that people thought was going to break you. Forgiveness brings you back to seeing yourself, your own reflection in that mirror again. I want you to just visualize this. Visualize yourself tending to the hearth of your soul with love. This beautiful fireplace where you burn everything that doesn't belong to you anymore and allow yourself to see the creation of everything else that does. I release the logs that dim my fire. I forgive what I am no longer willing to carry. I rise into warmth, into clarity, into renewal. My new year begins in freedom. My fire burns again. As God orders my steps, let the words of your mouth and the meditation of your heart be acceptable in your sight, because your strength comes from within. Redeeming that is completely embodying and surrendering that I don't walk alone, but I will feel as if I'm being dragged behind. I will feel as if I'm not showing up on time if I keep carrying these wounds that I didn't create. I was a witness of, but I don't need them anymore. It's expired. You have a lot of things that expires. It has expired since the beginning of 2025. Throw them out, will you? Get a nice bin, get a really thick garbage bag, toss them in. And for those of you who have things that cause you to cry, they're just onions. Toss them too. And allow yourself to observe the other half of the village who carries a very light weight. Remember when most of us who are from the Christian community, and Jesus had these beautiful stories that he told. But you see, to embody and to go to what they call the Father, to God, to surrender to that love, it's something that really lightens your burdens. It doesn't give you more. So if you want to embody even that, even faith, if you want to become enlightened, lighten up. Not just that, let your light so shine before men. So those who are holding on to the things you let go, they can see the light in you. And you can lend them some ember so they can toss those wet logs they've been burning. This December embodies not failure, there's no failing, but it embodies a lot of introspection. It embodies a lot of truth seeking. It embodies a lot of wholeness. And most of us, we go into fight or flight because what is that? What is that? Why? I don't know how to do that because you've been holding on to so many things that aren't yours. You forgot what you look like. You forgot what happiness sounds like. You forget what joy is. You are the joy. You are the happiness. You are the peace. You are the kindness. For the next couple days and for the rest of the days, for this month, December, remember, if you have anything that you have hid under any ground, any pain, any anger, I'm telling you, the energies, they will root them up. You will have volcanoes in your life. I'm preparing you to tell you, don't retreat from them. Face them. Ask for help. Pray for yourself, you can. You can also pray with somebody else. That's partnering with somebody in prayer. That's powerful. And you can also ask somebody to pray for you who's not even where you are. That's even more powerful. Somebody is an intercessor. Intercede with me. Partner with me. But there's nothing that's impossible for you to overcome. We can override everything. It's just allowing our awareness to now know this is what's happening. Oh my gosh. Now I know what I have to do. So stop holding on to say, I'm confident life is crap. I'm confident life is hard. I'm confident life is a struggle. Why can't you be confident that life gets better? Why can't you be confident that I can do anything that I so desire? If I feel it, I always tell everyone in my group, put your hand on your heart and on your womb space where all creation started. It initiates something so powerful. And when you speak of all these things you want to do a vision board. You can write it. I love when you write it, or I love when you put pictures to it. I keep changing mine because they keep happening and I don't remember. I say, oh my gosh, that happened. It's like magic, right? When you're thinking about your vision board for 2026, don't wait until 2026. Start now. I want you to write all the things you're ready to let go. Allow me to release all these things that don't serve me anymore. And when you're tapping into the things that you really to heart, not the mind telling you you must get this, that identity because it's popular. No, what really gives me peace. And I want you to hold on to this heart space and feel. I'm calling in peace. Allow your body to respond. And your womb, it already created it anyway. But you allow yourself, when you connect the integration between mind, body, soul. I want you to always remember, your nervous system is the bridge between mind, body, and soul. I never knew this until the angels taught me. But when you get an opportunity to get to see visually inside a human body, to see the human body as a universe, listen to me, my body is a universe, so is yours. And they allowed me to see how super intelligent our bodies are, how wide our bandwidth is to receive information from every space and dimension if we intend to, how powerful we are in our choices and decisions, and how powerful we are as manifestors. It's how you feel and integrate it. Mind, body, soul. I wish you the best for this beautiful December. You have some work to do. You have some wet logs you need to throw out of your hearth. Your fireplace don't need them. And some places will have the worst storms you ever think of this year, in the physical and also in the spiritual. Some places will have the worst weather you've ever thought of, in the physical and in the spiritual. But it mirrors each other. If you can get rid of all these things and help somebody else in your household, in your family, in your workplace, with fresh ember, with a smile, just a smile, so energetic. These storms that may come won't be as powerful. They will start to roar because they want to see if you're going to feed them with fear and anger and tap back into that space when you were 6 and 12 and you witness all these atrocities and you realize, no, I don't need those patterns anymore. And they will do what storms do, but it won't be as devastating because it realizes she's not feeding me anymore. He's not raging this volcano anymore. He's embodying love. That's what December represents for you. It's done it for me already. It's only December 2. But if I don't hold on to love, what am I going back to? If I don't hold on to faith, what will I be? If I don't hold on to trust, to know that I want you to feel my compassion, even if you're indecisive and fearful. But unapologetically, I cannot feed your fear. I will give you all the hearth you need. Imagine this is a hearth. Light your fire with it. I love crystals. For those of you who don't like crystals, please leave me alone with my crystals. Why? I used to have dreams as a kid being in crystal beds. That's another story. So for me, they're family. I have memories of seeding the earth with crystals. We don't quite understand how powerful this planet coordinates and partners with us to energetically be healthy, to live not to 80 years old, but to hundreds of years old. I want you to think about that this December. I want you to think about this vehicle that we have, the most precious cargo, this. How are you feeding your cargo? Not just with energy, with everything else. Because I see people taking better care of their cars and their houses and just a watch on their hands. We're better than we do this body. This body was created, as far as how I've witnessed it and how they've showed it to me, to supersede 80 years old. Whoever came up with that number, you got it wrong. But you did that because we're anchoring so much fear and indecisiveness in this world. But if we could understand how to take care of this cargo with love and anchoring energies of love, then we wouldn't be feeding our body so much fear. It causes us to be so sick and then be medicated to make us more sick. We will have eventually. But man, I wish we had it now. Have people living 200, 300, 400 years old. And some of you would say no, but no. Imagine a world without all these layers of weight, that I don't belong, my voice doesn't matter, I'm not worthy. Imagine a world that does not need to have these prison systems and these juvenile centers because people understand what their superpowers are. That's a world worth living for 200, 300, 400 years old. Think about that. So stop giving up on life to say, no, I'll go at 80. I don't want to. I want to keep experiencing the joy in this world. Have a beautiful December. Whatever faith you are, just remember, you're all carrying the body of God. Not everyone likes me saying this. You all carry the body of God. You all carry the body of God. I want you to feel that. I want you to say it to yourself and feel you all carry the body of God. So your neighbor, if you can't love them, well, that means you don't love God. If you can't love yourself, it's kind of challenging to love God, is it not? It's an aspect of love that's splintered into 8 billion strong. So you all carry the body of God. This voice box, we all carry the sound of God. These ears, we all carry the ears of God. These hands, we all carry the hands of God. What are you doing with it? How do you choose to express yourself carrying this archetype of God? I want you to look in the mirror and start working on you first. The rest is going to be easy. The hardest nut to crack is your own. Let's get cracking. So I give to you December. It's not coming to fight you. It's coming to show you everything that you don't need anymore. To allow you to breathe finally. Surrender and liberate yourself to your own truth. I love you. Now, go love yourself. This is our December forecast for you. Be the love. Be the light.